This is a continuation of the study of divorce, except very quickly I'm going to switch it over to the study of marriage. Off to look closer at the word study of except as per English. Really, it's the word not poorly translated into English. Um, the the, the word study is just click that. The thing I want to show you here is the study brought by Thayer, which is this. And as you might recall, the Matthew 19:9 is right here. What I want to show you is this right here, AV or EAV, is a marriage modifier. Peculiarly, the word formula I translate into variably speaking quite uniquely and peculiarly. There's a marriage formula written into the Greek that isn't very clearly observable in English. So that's part of what I want to show you in this study. I've turned it over to interlinear Matthew 19:5 and become the two into flesh one. First of all, that's a uniqueness in the Greek that instead of one flesh, it's flesh one, for a reason, because you are not yet one with God through Christ. You are not one in unity with Christ in your figurative marriage of the Lamb, nor are you one in your spousal because you are still on a journey to walk the walk instead of just talk the talk. So one becomes having been led by the flesh, and of course we're under the sinful nature of man that leads with the flesh, and we have to deal with the flesh as we seek to become one with God through Christ. That's unique comparative to the English that puts it the other way around. But anyway, onward we go to study further how AV modifies, because here's AV, and let's see how AV modifies as per the divorce study. And so then I turn it to Matthew 19:6 to see what that says on how it is that AV modifies in divorce. So here we are, Matthew 19:6, and here's the comparative one, but now instead of this is an M, as you can see, transliterated letter for letter up here. The word one is modified into MIA, and I've addressed MIA as one of my first attention getters, let's say. So how did AV modify in divorce? Well, it took MIAV apart into MIA, and that's a parallel uniqueness to having taken apart that which God joined together. And the variables to that go on into Mark 10:8, it being commonly understood to be a parallel to Matthew 19 on marriage, at least, and divorce and remarriage. But it's not completely a parallel. In fact, it's Mark 10:8 is a supplement to Matthew 19. It's a supplement clarified in Mark 10 that the assembly was separate in Matthew 19, where Christ spoke to the masses in 19. But in Mark 10, he brought a private counsel to the disciples, where the disciples went into the house, a separate place, a separate time, to ask Christ to clarify what that they could try to understand better Matthew 19. And so Mark 10:8 is part of that, even though it's Mark 10 that says it's a separate counsel. So anyway, over here in the study of one, it extends over into appearing to be the very same one that you began with in Matthew 19:5, but it's not the very same, because you're looking at the variables to marriage. One of the variables is that this is a marriage still, same marriage, independent of the fact that a spouse in disobedience took it apart and divorced, and under a no just cause for divorce, there's a obedient to God variable that still maintains a understanding to marriages not taken apart. That's just disobedience and self-deception. So over here, the obedient spouse extends it over into maintaining marriage and walks the walk of marriage, independent of the other spouse wanting to take it apart and doing whatever they want sinfully. They can do what they want, but I'm going to give an account in my spirit to God for being joined together. And that extends over into the next variable, that there's a one over here that is MIA again, which of course can be the other spouse that took it apart, but variably it can be the spouse that walked a marriage walk of excellence. Excellence in the sense that didn't enter into the deception of divorce. And either one can be over here in MIA, because this spouse can be disobedient in other areas, other sinful areas that has them still not aligning with Christ properly, not accepting him as Savior, or sinfully disobedient in other areas. And uniquely over here, there has been three flesh ones in variables, three different flesh ones, only to end up with one flesh. It's flipped around in judgment. Christ is going to judge whether you're one with God through Christ, and he's going to judge whether you're one with him according to his will in spousal marriage. So there's judgment. Till death do you part. There will come a day when he will judge whether you're one with him or not, and extends that over into, I will show later if it's extended over into marriage as joined together two ones into twain ones. That's the variables of how AV modifies